All right, decoders. Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is doing well out there this evening. Hopefully, I'm going live. Let me know if in the chat you guys can hear me and you guys can see the screen. Give me a thumbs up, please. Hello, Royal Productions and Aaron Warren and Sun King, Uncanny Deduction, KJ Malone. Hope you guys are doing well. How's it going? City of Trees, nice to see you. So yeah, guys, I mean, we finally made it. Finally made it past the Super Bowl. Now we can move on from that. But before that, we can talk about the rituals, right? We can talk about everything. A lot of this stuff I've already seen shown by a lot of other people. So if you guys have been watching any other channels, you might see some things repeated here, but and I want to give a shout out to everyone who's already made a lot of connections. I don't want to say I don't want to, there's so many people that have found things that I can't even remember everyone, but I want to give a big shout out to all the great decoders who have helped come up with these connections. And yeah, so as we go through, I'll try to remember to give shout outs to people that I can remember who helped show these things. And also I'll try to remember to get through everything that I have to talk about, because I have a lot I want to bring together here. Hopefully I can do that. Hello, Rick, and hello, Mind Wars, and hello, Joel. Nice to see you guys. We got 44 in the chat. We'll wait another minute, and then we'll get started. I'm assuming you guys can hear me, because I got a few thumbs up there, so that's good. And yeah, so I mean, let's just, you guys know I've been talking about the Super Bowl for weeks now. And there's a few things that I've been talking about in connection to the Super Bowl. The first one was the dragon, right? We're entering into the dragon year, which we're already in, and the Super Bowl just happened to take place, one day after the dragon year. So there was a lot of symbolism with the dragon. I posted on my community section during the game that there was that at halftime, okay, the score was 10-3, right? And in gematria, we know that dragon has that 103. So the score was 10-3 for a good amount of time. At halftime, when the Super Bowl halftime show was taking place, the score was 10-3. And of course, you had Usher and Alicia Keys dressed in the red. And I've been talking a lot about the red dragon in the book of Revelation, and the connection to Taylor Swift's album Red, and the connection to King Charles, who was the King of Wales with the red dragon, and the connection to Ryan Reynolds and Queen Elizabeth. I've connected a lot of stuff with the dragon and the red, okay? And of course, during the halftime show, we get the woman dressed in red, okay? And then the red team wins, right? The all red team. I think that was the clue right there, guys. The fact that the red team, they're both red, right? But the team that was wearing the home jerseys, the red jerseys, is the one who came out on top. So very simple symbolism. I was thinking the Chiefs pretty much all the way. I did one final little decode before, the end, that I was always leaning towards Chiefs, but I never made an actual pick, just because I'm kind of tired of the need to get it right energy from everyone. So, but yeah, I mean, you guys know I talked a lot about the Chiefs, a lot about the red. So, and then we had Biden coming out with this red eyes. Okay. And I'll talk about that in a moment also. So yeah, it looks like we got 69 in the chat. Thank you guys for coming tonight. We're going to go ahead and get started. We'll pull up the presentation, and then we're going to connect a bunch of different things here, and I'll show you what I saw. All right. So first slide. And most people have probably seen this already, but we definitely have to go over the 33-3 ritual that happened at the Super Bowl, okay? And if you guys go back and watch the end of the game, you're going to hear the announcer say what happened. So the Chiefs won in overtime when number 33 on the 49ers forgot to cover number 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay. So 33 forgot to stop number 12 from getting into the end zone. And again, 1 plus 2 is 3. And Patrick Mahomes on that play threw for 333 yards. And his full name, Patrick Lavon Mahomes II, equals 333. Now, on that very last play of the game, Mahomes won his 3rd Super Bowl, and he did so with 3 seconds left, and he did so on a 3-yard pass, okay? So the reason I'm starting out with this is because it's the most obvious ritual in the whole game, and the announcer even made it obvious by saying that at the very end, because the address of the stadium, which the announcer at the end of the game mentioned, was 3333 Al Davis Way. Okay, so Mahomes throws for 333 yards. His name equals 333. He wins the Super Bowl he wins his 3rd Super Bowl on a 3-yard pass with 3 seconds left. 333. And he did so in Allegiant Stadium. And if you go to the standard gematria, Allegiant Stadium, Allegiant equals 333. And remember, guys, this was a rematch of the Super Bowl in 2020, okay? And, well, in 2020, Mahomes and the Chiefs won that game on the 33rd day of the year. You guys can see right here, February 2nd, 2020 was the 33rd day of the year with 333 days remaining. So that whole day had 5 threes in it, the 33rd day with 333 remaining. Okay, absolutely insane. Okay, and don't forget that the other GOAT of football. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry if it's small. Yeah, if you guys can't see it well, but yeah, down here at the bottom, Sunday, February 2nd, 2020, when the Chiefs won their first Super Bowl 4 years ago. It was the 33rd day of the year with 333 days remaining. And don't forget Tom Brady, who was the GOAT. The GOAT before Mahomes. Mahomes is like taking over for Tom Brady, right? Well, Tom Brady finished his career with 333 regular season games, and he retired on the 33rd day of the year, okay? So, I mean, come on. And again, don't forget that at the last play, it was the number 33 here who forgot to cover number 12 and let him score the winning touchdown. So what are the chances of that with 3 seconds left on the clock and a 3-yard play? Okay, it's ridiculous. So yeah, and what's the chances that Allegiant equals 333, Patrick Lavon Mahomes 333, and the stadium is 333 Al Davis Way? Okay, and I'm trying to think if there was any other 33s I could think of. But I'm sure there's ones I missed, but I think I hit most of them. Yeah, if it looks blurry, I'm sorry. On my screen, I'm watching it also live. It does not look blurry to me, so it might be the loading on your screen. But I'm sorry if you guys can't see it well. So the next number that I want to talk about here is the number that I was talking about. Okay. I was talking about this number going into the Super Bowl. Remember, it was Usher Raymond IV equaling 192, who was announced as the Super Bowl halftime performer. Remember, Obama came out with his movie, Leave the World Behind. Obama equals 192, Leave the World Behind 192. The Super Bowl LVIII equals 152. Paint the Town Red, which was the song that came out on Obama's birthday, equals 192. That happened 192 days before the Super Bowl, and that also connects to the eclipse that's coming up in April, which equals 192. Okay, but just like we talked about, guys, the 192 was important in this game, and we talked about it. Me and Joseph Aquaviva, shout out to him, talked about it so many times leading up to the Super Bowl. And of course, who catches the game-winning touchdown? Okay. What is the gematria of the guy Kerry McCole Hardman Jr. Okay, he catches the winning touchdown of Super Bowl 58, which equals 192, and his full name equals 192. Okay. And again, he matches with Usher Raymond IV, who also performed in the halftime show, and just an absolute joke. Okay. And remember, it was 192 days after Obama's birthday. Obama 192, Leave the World Behind 192, Paint the Town Red, which was the song that came out on his birthday by Doja Cat. And who won the Super Bowl in the red end zone? Paint the Town Red 192. And the first song that Usher performed at the halftime show was called Caught Up. And if you use the mixed capital cipher, you're going to get 192. So again, what's the chances? His name equals 192, and he performed the first song of the halftime, Caught Up, which equals 192. Okay? And notice how he started, okay? Notice how he started the halftime show. He started in a white robe, and behind him are these like triangle-looking pieces with a bunch of lines. And I want to explain to you guys what this is, because if you guys don't know what blockchain is, because blockchain equals 192. Blockchain is what is basically, it's cryptocurrency. Okay? Cryptocurrency is a blockchain. Bitcoin is a blockchain. And basically what these lines represent in blockchain. So I just took an article here. It says still not understanding blockchain, and it shows the picture of all these nodes. They call them nodes. This is a network, okay? A blockchain network, and you see all these lines connecting nodes on the network. Okay? And behind Usher, you see the nodes, the blockchain. This is the digital currency, the blockchain. You're going to be tied to the block, okay, which is connected to Saturn. And again, what are the chances that they put the blockchain nodes right behind him? This is how he opened his performance. And why is that important? Because blockchain equals 192. This is the big number, guys. This is the only number we really needed to decode the Super Bowl. The guy catches the winning touchdown with the number 192 in his gematria, and the Super Bowl equaled 192. And then the halftime performance featured a song that equals 192, and it featured blockchain, which equals 192. Okay? And again, caught up is a reference to being caught in the block. Okay? It's a blockchain, they call it. So it's a chain. You're connected. You're caught in the chains, right? So it's obvious to me. And if you guys don't know what this blockchain is, you do more looking into it. Again, this is a picture of nodes on a blockchain network, and here's the blockchain, right? So obvious. So again, the 192, just confirmation, guys. We were talking, if the whole world should be seeing this video. I was talking about 192, me and Joseph, for months, for a month at least leading up to this. And then at the Super Bowl, it was the big number, okay? And it's no coincidence. And it's exactly what Royal Productions just said in the chat, ushering in the new system, the new blockchain system, okay? Everything's going to be connected to a blockchain, okay? Chain to the block, which connects to being caught up. It means you're caught up in something, okay? That's what this song is referencing. So why is blockchain connected to Usher and his song Caught Up? Well, Caught Up was released on January 3rd, 2005, which was exactly 4 years before Bitcoin was released, okay? Bitcoin was released on January 3rd, 2009. His song Caught Up, which connects to the blockchain, was released exactly 4 years earlier. Notice that it was released on 1/3. What was the big number last night in the Super Bowl, guys, with Taylor Swift? The 13. Okay? And look at the Bitcoin symbol. Does the Bitcoin symbol, if you look at it closely, you're going to see a 1 and a 3. Okay? A 1 and a 3. This is 13. Bitcoin was released on 1/3. Okay? Just like the song Caught Up. Okay? So why was this connected to blockchain and crypto and Bitcoin? Okay? Well, Again, at the halftime, the score was 10-3, which equals 13. Like Bitcoin has the 13, which looks like a B, but it's actually like a 13, okay? And before the Chiefs scored the game-winning touchdown in overtime, the score was 22-19, which is 41 points. So right before the game was over, the score was 41 total points, which is the 13th prime. Remember, Taylor Swift had all this connection to 13. And the guy who caught the touchdown, which I just showed in the last video, Mecole Hardman, he was 25 years old. The reason that's important is because 97 is the 25th prime number. In Gematria, Bitcoin equals 25. So a 25-year-old guy connected to blockchain, because 192 is blockchain. BTC is blockchain, right? And BTC is the symbol for Bitcoin, which equals 25. The guy was 25 years old. And notice that 97 is the 25th prime. Crypto equals 97. Just like the song Caught Up equals 97, like Bitcoin BTC 97. The reason I put plane crash in here is for later in the decode, I'm going to talk about a possible more plane crash symbolism and also possibly a financial crash connected to a plane crash, okay? But look at the 97 here, guys. All tied to crypto, Bitcoin, because if you add the word Bitcoin and BTC together, you get 97, which is connected to crypto, which is connected to blockchain, which is connected to 192, which is blockchain, which is Usher with the blockchain and his song Caught Up. It all ties perfectly. I haven't seen anyone else talking about this. And yes, I have people in the chat talking about caught up being like the rapture, okay? And in a satanic way, I believe they're talking about being caught up in the blockchain. People are going to be caught up in the opposite way of what you guys would talk about as in the rapture's case, okay? So it's interesting that they use that phrase, caught up, okay? Because it does actually connect to the rapture, okay? The harpazo, right? And I didn't put that in this decode, but it does connect to that. So, but anyways, the financial system is going to be caught up in the blockchain, okay? So 15 years ago and 41 days before this 13th. So I want to talk about, you know how the number 13 was a huge connection to this Super Bowl, okay? Again, Bitcoin has the 13. Usher released his song on 1-3. Taylor Swift was all about the 1-3. The score at halftime was 13 points, okay? And so what about this coming 13th, okay? And Brian, some things did happen yesterday. There was a shooting in Houston at a church, right? Also, there was a story that I'm going to connect in Gaza that connects to Biden and the Super Bowl. And so a lot of stuff happened yesterday. There was an attack somewhere that I'm going to connect it in a minute. But before I get to that, I want to talk about the halftime show with Alicia Keys, right? Because you had Alicia Keys wearing the red, and I talked all about the red before the Super Bowl. And she came out singing her famous song, you know, the very famous song. I can't even remember the name of it now. But she was wearing the red, and Usher means doorman, right? An usher is a doorman. So she's performing with Usher, and her name is Key, right? So you have the doorman and you have the keys, right? And that connects to the book of Revelation, the Church of Philadelphia chapter, where it says, he has the key of David, and he opens the door and no one can shut it, and he shuts the door and no one can open it, right? So this connects to the doorman, the keys, the key of David, okay? But I want you guys to understand how big this is, okay? So I talked a lot about Kamala Harris before the game and how the Super Bowl was going to be connected to her. And look at this. So Alicia Keys was the one woman to perform at the halftime show. Alicia Keys' full name is Alicia Augello Cook, which equals Kamala Debbie Harris, 152 and 71. Now, Patrick Mahomes, who became the MVP of the game, equals 152 in the same cipher as Kamala Devi Harris, in the same cipher as Alicia Keys. Okay. So what are the chances of that? The MVP of the game, 152. The halftime female performer, 152. Kamala Devi Harris, 152. And I told you guys that there might be a proposal or some sort of wedding news at the game. And it came out that a few days prior, Usher, the performer at the halftime, he got a marriage license, okay, to his girlfriend, Jennifer Goycochea. I don't even know how to say that. So what are the chances he gets a marriage license to a girl named Jennifer Goycochea, and that equals 152, like Patrick Mahomes, like Kamala Devi Harris, and like Alicia Keys' full name, all 152, okay? And look at the birthday, okay? Look at the birthday of Jennifer Usher's future wife, essentially. Jennifer Goycochea is October 13th, guys. The 13th. There was a Friday the 13th last year on October 13th, and this is going to all connect to the 13 again. But what's even more important about this date is Usher's future wife is born October 13th, the same day as Kamala Harris's husband. Okay? October 13th is the day that Kamala's husband was born, and Usher is going to be getting married to a girl with matching gematria to Kamala Devi Harris, and she has a birthday matching Kamala's husband. Both this blew my mind, guys. Do you guys understand this? I've been showing this, and then this happens. What are the chances that Usher's girlfriend is born the same day as Kamala's husband? October 13th. Okay, which makes them all Libras. Also, Kamala Harris is a Libra. This Jennifer Goycochea, whatever you say it, is a Libra. Kamala's husband also, and Libra is about judgment. Okay, so again, I just cannot believe it. You know, I cannot believe this. I see Joseph's in the chat now. Welcome, brother. Big shout out to Joseph Aquaviva 2222. Go check out his video he did earlier. He covered some things in his video that I'm not probably going to talk about here. So go check out his video. But yeah, if you missed it, Joseph, I was just explaining how the halftime performer, Alicia Cook, Alicia Keys, equals 152, like Kamala Devi Harris, like Patrick Mahomes, and like Usher's future wife. And they got a marriage license in Vegas. Her name is Jennifer Goycochea, which equals 152, like Kamala Devi Harris. And Usher's future wife has the same birthday as Kamala's husband, October 13th. And October 13th was a Friday the 13th last year. And this whole Super Bowl was based around the 13. And this year, Taylor Swift's birthday is a Friday the 13th. December 13th, 2024 is also a Friday the 13th. So again, what are the chances that Usher's wife is going to have the same birthday as Kamala's husband? I mean, come on. I still can't believe it. And in case you missed it, Joseph, I just talked about how this whole thing, the one thing that I found that connected to the 192 is that Usher came out talking about the blockchain. You see these nodes here? These are blockchain nodes on the Bitcoin network or on a crypto network. This is a picture of them. And this is the nodes that Usher came out to start the halftime show. Okay. It's blockchain network. It's a nodes on a network. And this is called blockchain, which equals 192. Like the song he performed right here, he was performing the song Caught Up, which is all about being caught up in the block or chained. Blockchain is essentially chained to the block. And the song Caught Up is what that means, caught up. And then I showed how the song Caught Up by Usher came out on January 3rd, which is 1/3, like Bitcoin was released on 1/3. Okay. And then I showed how caught up equals Bitcoin BTC equals crypto equals 97 is the 25th prime, BTC, the ticker symbol equals 25. It's all connected to crypto, guys. This whole first scene of the halftime show was a crypto new beast system, digital network, essentially. So I'm just giving Joseph filling in him on what he missed because he's not too late. So anyways, I already connected the Kamala Harris thing. This was the big one, guys. I mean, I've been predicting this, and then this happens, okay? So let's talk about the ritual yesterday with the 47 and the 15, okay? So big shout out to Joseph for posting this. I've seen this being circulated on the internet. But look at this, guys. 2020 and 2024 are almost identical, okay? The Chiefs and 49ers win the Super Bowl in 2020, just like 2024. Lamar Jackson wins the MVP. Lamar Jackson is the favorite this year. Ravens win, Ravens win. Texans win, Texans win. You can go down this list and you can see all these things that happened in parallel between 2020 and 2024, okay? So that's telling us that this year is essentially everything that's happened so far in 2024 is a repeat of 2020. That means that March is about ready to be a crazy month next month because remember what happened in March 2020, okay? But why is that important, guys? Why is this so important? Because remember what happened on March 11th, 2020, guys? The P word was declared. And look how many months or years and months it was from 3/11 P word declaration to the Super Bowl. It was exactly 3 years and 11 months from 3/11, okay? The P word, okay? Not a coincidence. It was also exactly 47 months from the declaration by the World Health Organization to February 11th, the Super Bowl was 47 months exactly. And Super Bowl this year on that day had 47 total points, 25 to 22, 47 total points. The Super Bowl was on 2/11, which is 2/11 is the 47th prime. Mahomes was the MVP, and 47 is the 15th prime. Mahomes wears the number 15, okay? So they're telling us that we are in a parallel universe to 2020, okay? We are running parallel, and the numbers match up perfectly with the 47s and the 3/11, okay? Okay, thank you, Joseph. So the guy who caught the game-winning touchdown, Hardman, who I already showed equaled 192 like Super Bowl 58, Joseph is saying that he was 311 months old, which is absolutely insane. So again, guys, 3 years and 11 days since the 3/11 P word declaration and 47 months, and the whole game was about 47, okay? Beast equals 47. Trump equals 47. Government 47. Authority 47. President 47. And of course, you have the Freemasonry, the 47 degrees, the 47 problem of Euclid. So you have so many 47s to talk about, but it was a huge ritual, okay? And yeah, war also equals 15, like Mahomes. Where's the number 15, right? And I'm going to show you how there was how there was something connected with the war in Gaza yesterday, connected to the Super Bowl. So now I want to talk about this interesting connection between the 13, because the whole Super Bowl was about the 13, and I just want to throw this in there because tomorrow looks like a very interesting day for a possible 13 ritual, okay? Tomorrow is the 13th, and of course Taylor Swift has all the 13. She was born on the 13th. You guys can read this here. You guys probably know all this by now, but something very interesting happened last year on Friday the 13th, January 13th. There was a movie that came out that was called Plane, okay? And it was, the title of the front said, "The crash was only the beginning," okay? So they're referencing a crash being only the beginning, and it was on a Friday the 13th, okay? And the reason I put airplane crash in my decode back here with the 97 was because I believe there could be some sort of connection here. But anyways, I want to bring all this together with the 13. So this movie was released on January 13th, 2023. Okay, that's going to be exactly 13 months before tomorrow, which is the 13th, okay? So very interesting that it was from the 13th, 13 months later, they say the crash is only the beginning. Remember, in the tarot cards, the death card is number 13th card, okay? And like Royal Productions just said in the chat, Brock Purdy, the losing quarterback of the San Francisco team, he was all sad because he wore the number 13, okay? So watch out for tomorrow in connection to this plane movie. And also, the Super Bowl was 13 months after the FAA flight grounding, okay? So I want you guys to understand how big this is. All the 13s happened yesterday in the Super Bowl, and that was exactly 13 months after on January 11th, 2023, U.S. flights were grounded or delayed as the Federal Aviation Administration attempted to fix a system outage. The FAA paused all flight departures between 7:30 and 9. Flights already in the air were allowed to continue. This was the first time since 9/11 that the whole United States had grounded their flights, guys. This happened on 1/11 last year. Remember, 9/11 was about flights that hit buildings on the day leaving 111 days in the year. And what are the chances that if you go 13 months forward from this grounding of all the flights to tomorrow or to yesterday, the Super Bowl was exactly 13 months. And I just told you from the plane movie that came out 2 days after the flights were all grounded was 13 months to tomorrow, which is the 13th. Okay, this is huge. And I wanted to put out this huge connection because remember, I've talked about this on prior videos, but there was a incident that happened on Friday the 13th, August 13th, 2010. Okay, a lucky escape for a boy who was 13 years old. He was hit by lightning at 13:13 on Friday the 13th. And it was a 13 date numerology. 8 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1 equals 13. Well, that'll be exactly 13 years and 184 days before tomorrow. So it's 13 from the boy being struck, all the 13s with this boy being struck by lightning. In this movie called Plane, a lightning strike strikes the plane and brings it down, okay? So I'm telling you, something could happen tomorrow on the 13th, or look for next month on March 13th, okay? Because that will be the anniversary of the P word, right? So, but again, what are the chances that it's been 13 years since this boy was struck by lightning at 13 on 13/13? And if you add up the days, 13 years, 184 days, 1 plus 8 plus 4 equals 13. So again, it'll be 13/13 to tomorrow, okay? So I'm telling you, there's a lot of 13s that are lining up for tomorrow. And I want to give a big shout out to one of the decoders in the community. I don't know if he's in the chat right now, but he's been showing me a lot of connections for tomorrow on the 13th. I'm trying to think of his name now. Shoot, I can't remember his name. I'm going to give him a shout out after the video. I'll tag him because he's been doing a lot of good research on this date tomorrow. Not saying anything is absolutely going to happen, but it all lines up with this Super Bowl and the 13th, okay? And I just wanted to talk about Joe Biden's age tomorrow because we know that Joe Biden is, getting up there in age, but tomorrow he will be exactly 29,671 years old. I see my mom's in the chat. Everyone give a big heart to my mom. Trace O in the chat. Love you, Mom. So I'm glad to see you there. And yeah, so give a big heart to my mom in the chat, everyone. I'm sure she would appreciate that. Anyways, Joe Biden is going to be 29,671 days old right now, tomorrow, and that will be the 322 prime number. And tomorrow is the day leaving 322 days in the year. Okay, so Biden will be 322 prime days old on 322 days left. And tomorrow will be his 1120th day in office. And of course, you guys know Biden's birthday is 11/20. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens with Biden tomorrow. And the reason I'm connecting Biden is because did you see what he posted? after the Chiefs won the Super Bowl yesterday. He posted these red laser eyes. I mean, I can't believe he posted this, guys. It's so crazy. Okay. And yeah, thank you guys for all the hearts. Let's see. So anyway, big day tomorrow. It also connects to the Pope because remember, the Pope became Pope on March 13th, which is another 13, and he became Pope in 2013, kind of like tomorrow is 213, which is like the year 2013. So that means tomorrow will be exactly 131 months after the Pope became Pope on the 13th, okay? And 131 is like 13s forward and backwards. It's the reflection, 1 and 31, okay? And tomorrow can be written 13/2, and tomorrow will connect with the Pope. And notice that Catholic Church equals 132, and Roman Catholic equals 132. Tomorrow will be 13/2, okay? So anyway, I just wanted to make all these connections with tomorrow and the 13s because it seems like there's a lot of stuff adding up to the 13, and it'll be interesting. And look at how many people were officially at the delegations of the Pope's inauguration. 132 states, guys. Catholic Church 132, Roman Catholic 132. So definitely something to watch out for there. So now we're going to go back to the 13 in connection to Taylor Swift, because of course she was connected to the 13. She will be exactly 410 months old tomorrow on the 13th, 2 days after the Super Bowl. And if you drop the zeros in the 410 months, you're going to get the 41, which is the 13th prime. And of course, this day is the 13th. So again, Taylor Swift will land on the 13th prime on the 13th, okay? And there's something very interesting about that. And notice that Taylor's first unreleased song was called 13 Blocks. Well, this connects to the blockchain, which I already talked about, cryptocurrency, the blockchain. But look at the gematria of 13 blocks. It equals 213, like tomorrow is 213. And I just thought it was interesting in reverse Sumerian, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, Travis Kelce, who won the Super Bowl last night, he equals 1032, which is kind of like the date February 13th. And 13 Blocks, which is her first song, also has the 132 gematria. Thought that was interesting. And just look at this, guys. It was a 13-hour flight for Taylor Swift to make it from Japan to Las Vegas. So definitely interesting. Just notice that Swift and Kelce, their last names combined equals 41, which again is the 13th prime. So a lot of 13s again, all over the place. And now let's talk about this post by Biden. Okay. So why is the president of the United States posting a picture of laser eyes saying, just like we drew it up, is what he quoted. Joe Biden's Dark Brandon reacts to the Chiefs Super Bowl win. And remember, Biden is the commander-in-chief, and he's reacting to the Chiefs winning, just like we drew it up, pretty much saying that it was scripted. Okay. And the reason I got all this stuff here is probably irrelevant right now, but I talked a lot about the 251, which is the 54th prime. Notice the gematria of Biden's post, just like we drew it up, equals 251, okay? I'm going to go out of my presentation for a minute. I'm going to go to the gematria calculator just so I can show you this. So ritual sacrifice equals 251, okay? The Queen, Elizabeth, died on the 251st day of the year. Exactly. So if you guys can see this here, Queen Elizabeth died on the 251st day of the year on 9/8, right? And 521 days, which is kind of like the anagram of 251, was the Super Bowl yesterday, which is the 98th prime. Like she died on 9/8, okay? And Biden posts, just like we drew it up, which equals 251, okay? And this is ritual sacrifice number, okay? 251. And basically, you have remember, I've been talking a lot about the dragon and that they're connecting the house of the dragon, because we just started the dragon year. House of the dragon, 251. And so I don't think it's coincidence that his post equals 251. I was talking about this number many different times in my decodes. And let me show you why I think it might not be, okay? So you guys remember this? I pointed this out. You notice how this woman that's mourning in the I Pet Goat movie looks like a Muslim. It looks like somebody from an Islamic. She has the same type of look, right? And notice that her head and her arm looks like the Lombardi Trophy, the Super Bowl trophy. Okay, and she has this red ring around it. And I already talked about the red ring a few videos ago, how it connects to Taylor Swift. Okay, so last night had the red ring and the Super Bowl trophy. Well, the same night that Biden posted this with the red eyes, just like we drew it up, equals 251, which is the 54th prime, and the word red equals 54, okay? Just like we drew it up, connects to red and the red eyes. And then you have the red ring around the Super Bowl. And notice that the woman is mourning over the child, okay? So last night, at the same time that Biden was posting the red eyes, you had an attack on children. So look at this. There was a city in Palestine. I'm just going to show you. I want to give a big shout out to one of my other friends in my Discord who actually pointed me onto this. Stromboli Jones. I don't know if he's in the chat right now. Oh, yeah, Trey Patton. Everyone give a big shout out to Trey Patton. He's the guy that's been talking about the 213. I'm actually going to make him a moderator. So thank you, Trey, for being part of the channel and for also sharing all your stuff about 213. I didn't share much here because I wanted to mainly talk about the Super Bowl, but I definitely mentioned that date tomorrow and how it's connected. So, oh yeah, guys, reminder on Joseph's channel, the Decode is on the backup channel. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Joseph's backup channel because his main channel has been striked, so he can't post on that. So the channel that's in the chat, Joseph Aquaviva 2222, go subscribe to that, okay? Channel. Anyway, same day that Biden is and the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl, and Biden is posting his red eyes, you have an attack, a bombing on Israeli strike, kill more than 100 in Rafah, okay? What's interesting is this place where they're saying that they struck Rafah equals Biden. Let me show you. Rafah equals 34, 21, 101, and 29, like Biden, okay? All four cipher match. So what are the chances of that, guys? Biden posting that very cryptic message, and at the same time, you have this supposed bombing on Rafah, which equals Biden. And again, it connects to the red ring and the woman who's the Islamic-looking woman who's mourning her children. And notice that they're talking about the children. Dozens of people, including children, have been killed. Extremely intense Israeli airstrikes on Rafah. Okay? And look at the place that reported it, the Palestinian Red Crescent Society, guys. This whole thing is about the color red. And then they're posting that this Rafah was reported according to the Palestinian Red Crescent Society. Let's see what that equals. I've been talking a lot about the red, and look at that. Palestinian Red Crescent Society reports this attack, and it equals 311, guys. And I just talked about how yesterday, and that's the 64th prime, like the word kill equals 64, okay? And I was just talking about how yesterday was exactly 3 years and 11 months after the P word pen was declared. And look at this 122, guys. This 122 Notice the 122 is also a match to Kansas City, the red team who won the Super Bowl last night, 122. Pope Francis, who was connected to the Super Bowl last night because San Francisco was in it, 122. The team that lost, San Francisco themselves, equals 122. Okay. The word satanic equals 122. Las Vegas, where the Super Bowl was last night, Las Vegas NV abbreviated equals 122. So what are the chances that the Red Crescent Society was the one who reports this attack on Rafa, and Rafa equals Biden in all four ciphers? Rafa and Biden, all four ciphers, and you have Biden with the red eyes, okay? So yeah, red is war and blood, and the dragon in the book of Revelation is the red dragon, right? So much to talk about here with this airstrike. I think it's a very good connection by Stromboli Jones. I don't know if he's in the chat, but shout out to him. Yeah, so also notice it says more than 100 was killed. We know that 100 is connected to lightning. I already talked about lightning a bit in this decode. We know Barack Obama means lightning from a high place. You know, last night the score was 10-3 at halftime, right? And Obama equals 103, like dragon, right? So definitely a lot to think about. And don't forget that 103 is the 27th prime number. And 27 is connected to red again. 27th prime, the word red equals 27. Just like sacrifice, I think, equals 27. Or ritual, I think. Yeah, ritual equals 27. So very interesting. Also, I wanted to point out that last night, while this was going on, there was a fires going on also around this time in Chile. And again, we're in the dragon year, guys. And what does a dragon do? It starts fires. It breathes fire. And yeah, so you had Chile on fire, and then you have this airstrike, definitely connected to the Super Bowl. And the other thing I want to talk about from last night, let me bring it up. You guys probably heard about it. It's the Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas. Okay. Yeah, they're called laser eyes. Whenever you see those red eyes pictures, they call it laser eyes. And actually, they use those pictures in the crypto community to talk about like being like saying that crypto is going to go up, right? Invest in crypto. So it's interesting that Biden is posting a laser eyes pic. It also connects to the crypto connection I made earlier. So anyway, we had this shooting at Lakewood Church. I didn't really look into this. I'm sure Joseph is in the chat and he can also fill in a few things. But notice that it has the 147. Okay, Lakewood Church has the 147 and 69. Okay, so I want you to keep those two numbers in mind. Let me show you this. So last night at the Super Bowl, there was Ice Spice, right? And her name is Isis. I talked about her in my last video. Okay. She was at the Super Bowl and she was making like demon hand signs. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. Let me see if I can find. I talked about this girl and she's going to be very interesting to watch because she has a lot of interesting connections. And you're probably not going to see a picture of her making these hand signs, but if you guys go look up a video, first of all, you're going to see that she's wearing the inverted cross. And she was in Taylor Swift's song last year called Karma, but she's wearing the upside down cross and she was doing like these satanic signs. So I want you guys to remember that Ice Spice is her name, and Lakewood Church just happens to have similar gematria as Ice Spice. Notice the 147 and the 69. Like eclipse also equals 69. And we know we have that big eclipse coming up. 147 and 69. Okay. So notice that Ice Spice equals Lakewood Church, 147.69, like the eclipse. So Ice Spice equals eclipse. And let's see. So yesterday was 58 days. Okay. This is another huge connection that people are forgetting, is that the eclipse on 4/8, the Great American Eclipse, is exactly 58 days after Super Bowl 58. Okay. What are the chances of that? So yeah, 58 days after Super Bowl 58 is the eclipse, and you had Ice Spice at the game who equals eclipse, and she was giving off these crazy signs, right? These hand signs. And on the same day, you had the shooting at Lakewood Church. Now, another thing to think about here is that Lakewood Church, the shooter was a woman. Okay. Let me see if I can bring it up. So police identified the woman. So it was a woman, guys. And that's not very common. Okay. The woman who opened fire in the Houston church. Okay. And why is this important? Because Houston is in Harris County. Okay. Again, go back and watch the beginning of it, how I connected it to Kamala Harris. This shooting was a woman. Okay. And Harris County is where the Lakewood Church is located. Harris County. What are the chances? And a woman shoots up when I already said that everything last night was connected also to Kamala Harris and Barack Obama both. And then a woman, which is not very common, shoots up a Harris County church. And yeah, Joseph is giving off the 112. Let's go through the 112s. Kamala Harris, 112. The shooting was in Houston. 112 in the same cipher. The guy who caught the winning touchdown, McCole Hardman, which doesn't sound good. McCole Hardman, he equals 112. Judaism, that's another one, equals 112. Catholicism, if I can spell it right. I can't spell that word. Catholicism, 112. And the Chiefs, they won the Super Bowl, equals 112. The Super Bowl was on 112. Okay. Mathematics equals 112. Okay. Yesterday was a huge mathematical ritual. Okay. So again, let me just bring up all the 112 so you can see how all this goes together. All right, so you had a shooting in Houston in Harris County, which Kamala Harris equals 112, like Houston. The guy who caught the winning touchdown, McCole Hardman, 112, like Judaism, like Catholicism, like the team who won, the Chiefs, 112, and like mathematics, 112. Okay. Also, the word Zionist equals 112. Okay. So a big, and what's happening in Israel right now? Also, yeah, Super Bowl. Sorry, that was a huge miss. Super Bowl equals 112. I mean, what else do you guys need with this number? You know, everything was connected to this number, and that's why you guys cannot. Does anyone in the chat any doubt anymore how this is connected to Kamala Harris? Again, I just showed you. This is in Harris County, and I just showed you how Usher's coming wife, is going to be born the same day as Kamala Harris's husband. Okay. And Alicia Keys was also in the, if you guys missed the beginning, you won't understand, but I'm just saying that there's not a coincidence that this happened in Harris County. No way. And again, Houston equals Kamala Harris. So what are the chances? And equals Chiefs and equals Super Bowl. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting any 112s. But yeah, I talked about Ice Spice, who was born the very first day of the 2000s. January 1st, 2000. So if you go from her birthday yesterday to yesterday, she was exactly, I mean, just look at this, guys. She was 888 days old yesterday on the Super Bowl. So she was at the Super Bowl throwing up hand signs, you know. So that's why ISIS, you know, her name is ISIS, right? And that's connected to, once again, the Islamic narrative and the Egyptian, right? And don't forget her full name, Isis Naja Gaston, equals 59 and 103. Remember yesterday, Obama equals 103, Dragon 103. Yesterday at halftime, the score was 10-3. Her full name also equals 59, like Dragon, and 167, like America equals United States equals 167. So yeah, a lot to talk about here, but and notice that yesterday was 42 days after her birthday. So she was 24 years and 42 days old yesterday on the Super Bowl, on the 42nd day of the year, of course. So she's perfectly scripted because she's born the very first day of the 2000s. Okay. Can't get any more scripted than that. Also, oh, that's a good one. Azar L. So remember that Biden's post was called Dark Brandon, laser eyes, dark Brandon equals 211, huh? Remember the thing with let's go Brandon. I don't know if you guys, let's see what laser eyes equals. Laser eyes has that 128, big number. Has that 38 like murder and death. Laser eyes, dark Brandon. See, the word Brandon reminds me of like a brand or a mark, a dark brand, like a brand Dawn, like Donald brand. Very interesting. And I talked a lot about the show Game of Thrones. Remember, one of the main characters in the show is named Brandon or Brand. So yeah, it's interesting that Brandon is a combination between a brand, like a mark, and the word Don, like Donald. So very interesting. Laser eyes Brandon equals 130, like human sacrifice. So yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of throwing some stuff out there that might be connected to this. Also, I want to see how yesterday was after Biden's birthday. Hold on. Okay, well, so yesterday was 2 months and 22 days after Biden's birthday. We know that's a big number, 222. Okay, but also it was 83 days, which again is the murder 8338 code, and then he's posting this laser eyes, right? And this is probably connected to the laser weapons. Because remember, I told you yesterday, Chile, the country, was on fire. And remember what happened in Maui with the fires? Remember how Biden went to Maui on the anniversary, on the birthday of Hawaii, right? Right after the weapons that cause fires. Maybe they're doing that in Chile now. Okay. Yeah, that's a good connection too. The Jesuits operate in 112 nations. Let's see. I just wanted to look up and see what dark Brandon equals. So dark Brandon equals 69, like Eclipse again. Big number. And 48 in the same cipher as Donald Trump. Donald John Trump equals, or Donald John, or is it Donald J or Donald Trump equals 48 in the same cipher, actually. Donald Trump, 48. Yeah, I did say 222. Yesterday was 2 months and 22 days after Biden's birthday. Interesting, huh? Order out of chaos, 222. 222, and as above, so below. Two, two, two. Let's see. Let me see what else I want to talk about. Oh, I want to talk about Usher. So there's something weird going on at the end of his performance. He kept chanting. He and the people that was with him kept saying, "Turn the world to A." They kept repeating this. Okay. And if any of you guys have some ideas of what this might mean, I was thinking turn the world upside down, or turn the world to the Antichrist, or the Antichrist system, A. But something that he kept chanting at the end was turn the world to A. And I thought that was very interesting. Turn the world to A equals National Football League in the same cipher, 85. But I don't know what exactly this could be. It means Atlanta, I think. Yeah. Yeah, A Town Down. And there's a wrestler, a WWE wrestler, who keeps saying, he keeps saying A Town Down. Okay, so Austin Theory, hold on. There's definitely something. You see this symbol right here? So this guy's name is Austin Theory. And he's from Atlanta, right? Or he's from close to Atlanta. But anyways, he always does this symbol. Let me see if I can find it. This right here, okay? Give it a second to pull up. So he always does this A Town Down. He says A Town Down, and he puts his fingers in this symbol. And this is the same symbol that Usher was doing last night when he was saying, turn the world to A. Okay. I believe this is talking about the reset. Okay. Also, yeah, it could be talking about the age of Aquarius. Yeah. Remember, Pluto just entered into Aquarius. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Laser eyes, not laser's eyes. Sorry. Yeah, I think the A means like reset, turn the world to, because A is the first letter, right? So you start over at A on the alphabet, which you read Z. So it could be talking about the reset. It could be talking about the Antichrist. It's connected to songs like rap songs. It's definitely connected to the city Atlanta. Okay, so let me bring up Atlanta for a minute. Because Atlanta has that 15 and 69. So let me just bring up the 69s. Hold on. So Atlanta is the A city, the A town. 69, like dark Brandon, which is what Biden was saying he was, like eclipse. So Atlanta might connect to the eclipse somehow. And I already talked about the Lakewood Church and Ice Spice. Don't forget Jesuit order equals 69. Sorry, the Jesuit order equals 69. So there's definitely a lot of 69s to talk about, but I'm just saying that it probably connects to the eclipse and Atlanta somehow, because you have this wrestler who's always doing this sign, A Town Down, and then you have Usher. Also, Usher was doing the same sign, the upside down, the A, right? So something to keep an eye on. Yeah, thank you, Joseph, for all the other 69s, Illuminati 69, New World Order 69. Yeah, that's a good connection too. New World Order equals 69, like Atlanta, and it's all about the A town is Atlanta, right? So it's basically like saying they're going to turn the world upside down. And like Joseph has been saying, I think that this world's going to look a lot different in the next, in the coming months. They're going to turn the world upside down. Let me see if I missed anything. How many minutes have I been live? An hour and 4 minutes. I'll stay on for another 10 minutes or so. Yeah, leave the world behind. Exactly. Yeah, and then the scripture in the Bible, and they had a king over them, and he is the angel of the bottomless pit. The angel starts with A. He's known in Hebrew as Abaddon. That starts with an A. But in the Greek tongue, his name is Apollyon, which just starts with an A, like Antichrist. So a lot of things start with the A. Artificial intelligence, that's another good one. AI. So yeah, maybe maybe this quote from Usher at the end is all about the AI too, right? Alpha, the AI, the Antichrist, Apollyon, Abaddon, Adam, Atlanta, Apollo. We just had Apollo Creed die. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Shyla, your dad is Muslim, really? Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, there's definitely something. You're definitely connected. I've seen what you've posted. That's crazy. Yeah, that's another good one. Anarchy. Remember the eclipse? The two eclipses coming that are going to make. I'll just pull up the picture. Great American Eclipse. See if I can pull it up so you guys can see the A. So there was 3 eclipses, right? That are going to make an A over the United States. So you had the first one in 2017. And then you had the one last year on October 14th, which was Usher's birthday. And then you have the last one coming up on April 8th. So you have an A here. You have basically the shape of an A, right? Turn the world to an A. Notice that Atlanta, which is A town, they were kind of near the first eclipse that happened in 2017. So that's a good point. Yeah, there's a lot of big words that start with A, huh? So good connections, everyone. Yeah, the eclipse is going over Little Egypt. Yeah. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I want to talk about. I already pointed out how tomorrow is very connected with the 13s, so maybe watch out for a 13 ritual tomorrow. I talked about the 33s and the 333s. I talked about Usher and the 192 and the blockchain, the Bitcoin. Talked about Kamala Harris and the red woman, Alicia Keys. Talked about Taylor Swift. Talked about Biden's picture. Yeah, I think. Is there anything else you guys think I missed? I can't remember sometimes what else I wanted to talk about. So if you guys have any other things that you wanted me to talk about from yesterday's Super Bowl, let me know in the chat before I get off here. If you guys would please hit the like button. Right now I have 89 likes. If we could get the likes up past 100, that would be amazing. So smash that like button. Also, again, guys, if you guys want to go to my Buy Me a Coffee, this is where you can support the channel. This really helps out the channel, helps me out a lot. You guys can be a member here for as little as $1 a month, or you guys can just donate anything that you would like. I really appreciate all the support. It is greatly appreciated. So much love to all the supporters. And again, normally I release information ahead of time to the supporters, but today I didn't do that because I didn't have time. So oh, so the guy who caught the touchdown yesterday, McCole Hardman, his real name is Kerry Hardman, and he equals 666, huh? In what cipher? What cipher does he equal 666, Joseph? Ice Spice Starry commercial. I didn't see that one. Does Alicia Keys also equal 147? Well, that makes sense, guys, because 147 is a huge number for the president. Alicia Keys in caps added, I think. Yeah, in caps added. Okay, so Alicia Keys equals 147. Remember, I told you Ice Spice equals 147. And remember, President of the United States equals 147. There's 147 windows on the White House. Lakewood Church was a shooting yesterday there, 147. And yeah, there's a lot of interesting connections to 147. Okay, so yeah, Sumerian Joseph says that the guy who caught the last pass of the game yesterday to win, his name is actually Carey Hardman. Reminds me of Jim Carrey. Yeah, look at that. His name equals 666, guys. And it's 69, too. I've been talking about that number. Yeah, and also, yeah, Joseph just said Freemason also has that 147 also. So that, I mean, that's a huge number, guys. The 147 and the 47. I already shared that number also. All right. Well, I think no one. Yeah, the score was 19-19, a tie game, right? Which is 38, like the murder code. Yeah, Trey Patton. Again, he's a moderator now. If you guys can see him in the chat, he has found a lot of great connections to tomorrow. So again, guys, keep an eye out for tomorrow, the 2/13, the 13 day after the Super Bowl. We're going to see if there's any kind of rituals with the 13. Yeah, that's a good one, Trey. 3 days after the dragon and 3 days before 2/16. You guys know I've been talking a lot about these days coming up. 2/13, Valentine's Day is an interesting day. The 15th of February is Lupercalia, which is a big sacrifice day. And also, then the next day is 2/16, which we know that 6 times 6 times 6 is 2/16. And then, even 2/17 and 2/18 is interesting. 2/18 is the huge code we've been seeing a lot of. Remember, they gave out a emergency warning at 2/18 last year on October 4th. And then 2/19 is interesting because if you write the date 192, it's like a lot like the 192. Also, yeah, Aquarian 2 also says that Lupercalia actually starts on tomorrow. It goes through the 15th. So big sacrifice time, guys. So expect to see something connected to Lupercalia in the next couple days. Okay. Remember, Lupercalia is the festival about wolves. Remember, the Kansas City Chiefs, their symbol is the KC wolf. Okay. And tomorrow is Lupercalia, which is all about the wolf. And it's all about sacrifice. Okay. Mr. KC Wolf here. I mean, why do they have a wolf as a mascot? Doesn't even connect with a chief in any way. That's why I think there's something big here with this wolf symbolism. I think KC Wolf equals 147. No, KC Wolf equals Joe Biden and Trump equals Biden and Trump in 2 ciphers. Tomorrow is Fat Tuesday. Interesting. What is Fat Tuesday? I don't even know what that is. February 13th, Fat Tuesday. It's also called Shrove, a final day of Carnival or Shrovetide, marking the end of pre-Lent. Okay, all right. Yeah, I get it now. They call it Shrove Tuesday. $56. Look, Shrove Tuesday has 192 in Sumerian. 56 like Society of Jesus, like the C word, like mind control, like toilet paper, like Washington, D.C. Let's see what Fat Tuesday equals. Oh, look, guys, Fat Tuesday equals 122. So again, I brought up all that number. So tomorrow is Fat Tuesday, which equals Las Vegas, Nevada, NV, Satanic, San Francisco, Pope Francis, and Kansas City, all 122, like tomorrow is Fat Tuesday. So interesting. Remember, 9/11 happened on a Tuesday, which is a war day, the god of war, Mars. Okay. Also, another big connection is from 9/11 to tomorrow, the very day of 9/11 to tomorrow is exactly a prime number day that I've talked about before. This is a very interesting connection. I connected this number with Obama being in the classroom 2 months ago. Okay. This is how many days is between 9/11 and today and tomorrow. 8191. Okay. And this is the 1028 prime. Remember what happened to Matthew Perry on 1028? Remember, Bill Gates is born 1028. And this number was connected to my perfect number decode. If you guys haven't watched my perfect number decode, then it's important to understand. Actually, let me bring this up really fast so you can understand why tomorrow might be a big day, because it connects to 9/11. So Trey's saying that tomorrow is 12 weeks and 2 days after Biden's last birthday, and it's Fat Tuesday, which equals 122. And Trump's birthday is 122 days after tomorrow. Interesting. So I made this post. I made this diagram to explain to people how the perfect numbers were tied to Obama being in the classroom in December last year. And I tied this in because you have the first 4 perfect numbers, and then you have this really big perfect number, which breaks down to 8191. Okay. And 8191 is the amount of days between 9/11 and tomorrow. 8191. And again, the fifth perfect number, which is 30, what is this? 33,550,336 is the 8191 prime, okay, which breaks down to 1028. And I showed in this diagram how Obama being in the classroom 819 days before he was 79, which was 64 days before 9/11. And the tower 2 fell at 1028. And again, the amount of days tomorrow from 9/11 to tomorrow is 1028, guys. So that could be interesting. 1028, the tower falls on 9/11, and from that day to tomorrow is 1028 prime. And tomorrow would actually be, because in the old month system, guys, February is the 12th month, okay? Because December is 10, Deci is 10. So that means January is actually like the 11th month, and February is kind of like the 12th month, which means that tomorrow would kind of be similar to Taylor Swift's birthday. Remember, Taylor Swift is born on December 13th, which looks like the 12th, but in reality, February is the 12th month. So That's another thing to consider with Taylor Swift being in the news right now and her birthday. So, yeah, thank you, Brenda. Much love. Yeah, okay, that's a good one too. The player that caught the winning touchdown said he blacked out. You guys get that? I talked a lot about blackouts, and remember, Obama released that movie about blackouts. And let's see if I can find the article. McCole Hardman blackout. McCole Hardman says he blacked out when he won the game. So, I mean, you guys know one of the topics of my channel has been blackouts, and now they're saying it again. Yeah, and that happened in overtime, which is like a sudden death, right? A blackout. So I don't know. Are we going to get? When is McCole Hardman's birthday? Hold on. Let me see how many days tomorrow is after his birthday. March 12th. So his birthday is only a month away. So tomorrow will be exactly 28 days or 4 weeks before his birthday, and 11 months and 1 day after his last birthday. So interesting. Something to think about. I'm trying to just trying to look into it and see how this connects to him. He's saying he blacked out. And don't forget, this guy started the year with the New York Jets, guys. This guy started the year with the Jets from New York, where the Jets hit the towers, and he said he blacked out. The next 9/11 will be a blackout, I think, or will be connected to a blackout. And look, he went to, Joseph brought this up in his channel. This guy who caught the touchdown to win the game, he went to Elbert County High School in Elbert County, Georgia. You guys know what Elbert County, Georgia is, right? Well, Elbert County, Georgia was the location of the Georgia Guidestones. See, right here, if you go to Elbert County, Georgia, Georgia Guidestones were located in Elbert County, Georgia. So big shout out to Joseph for finding this one. What are the chances that the guy who catches the winning touchdown and says he blacked out played football in Elbert County, Georgia? Yeah, and his name equals 192. You know, like Leave the World Behind, like Super Bowl 58. Oh, that's a good one, Sean. So the Super Bowl was 585 days after the Guidestones were demolished. Okay. So let me just show that. So the Super Bowl, when he blacked out to win, he's from that. And look at this. He was 585 days from the Georgia Guidestones to the Super Bowl. And why is that important, guys? Because the word blackout equals 85. Look at that. 85 blackout. This guy blacks out. Remember, it was Super Bowl 58, and he blacked out, which equals 85, like 585. And yesterday was 585 days after the Georgia Guidestones went down in Elbert County. And this McCole Hardman was from Elbert County, okay? The same place the Georgia Guidestones, okay? So definitely interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, something to watch out for. That was a good one, Sean. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to have a blackout in the month of Black History Month, right? Black. Remember, the 49ers were in the Super Bowl in 2013 when there was a blackout. Okay, and now they just lost again in the Super Bowl. So maybe the blackout is still coming in the coming days, guys. Yeah, the Georgia Guidestones were approximately 19.26, which is kind of like 192. Yeah, a blackout equals 58, like it was Super Bowl 58. Yeah, XRP equals 58, yep. All right, guys. Well, I don't want to stay out too much longer. It's getting late here. And thank you guys for all the additions. And if I missed anything, I'll try to cover it in my community section if I missed anything, because there was so much to cover. I don't know if I even remembered it all. But you guys also added a lot of additional info, which I appreciate. So if you guys would also hit the like button on the way out. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and for supporting the channel. Thank you for the donations and for the likes. And as always, thank you guys for the love, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, and God bless.